My name is Dr. Kyle Nelson, and I'm a professor of sociology and the chair of the department at the University of Northern Colorado. If you're watching this short video, you are a new student or a new sociology major or a new transfer student to UNC. So I want to give you some background information just to save our time together when we do advising over Zoom or over the phone or over email for fall of 2020. The reason I wanted to give you this overview is so that you can come back to this if you'd like to watch the video again in the future. Not only will this prepare you for our advising conversation that we're going to have, but it might be a resource you can turn to in the future if you want to get a reminder of a few things. So our department consists of 10 faculty members. And like I said, I'm the chair of the department, but I'm just one of the faculty. And I teach on race and immigration and some general sociology classes and social policy. And that's also what my research focuses on. We have a lot of varied areas of expertise in our faculty, which is something we're really proud of. We have scholars that look at gender, we have scholars that look at education and race disparities, religion, sport, sex trafficking, motherhood. We have a wide range of research interests. What brings us all together in the sociology department is that we're focused on applied sociology. So we're not only teaching and doing research, but we're out in our communities advocating for issues, consulting, using our skills to make the world a better place. It sounds really corny to say that we're making the world a better place, but that is really a focus of American sociology, and that's definitely a focus of our department at UNC. Another focus of our department is helping our students forge their own career paths, whether it's directly in sociology and sociological research, or in nonprofit work, or leadership, or policy. Really, any job can link to the skills that we equip our students with in our program. Sociology is the study of human forces, social forces, and some of the ways that we divide ourselves, but the ways that we can also come together to build a more equitable and successful society. What we have structured our program around is helping students not only take classes that they're passionate about or really interested in, but also that connect in ways that can build towards the next step, whether it's a career path, graduate school, or law school, or a specific job if you're interested in social work, or working with vulnerable communities, or being an advocate or an activist or a social justice leader. These are all pathways for a soc major. Our goal is that you leave our program, you graduate with a really solid knowledge base, but also some skills to do the critical problem solving that really any job is going to appreciate. And you won't just have said, oh, I enjoyed my time at UNC and I had interesting classes with interesting students and faculty. You'll also be able to say, this is how I'm prepared for what's next. I know what I want to do after I graduate from UNC. So we're really focused on your future, your education and your future at UNC. I want to show you, I'm going to try to share my screen and show you our webpage in the department. This is a great resource at any time, but also, now during the pandemic, most of our faculty are going to be off campus most of the time. Off campus, but accessible. So even though you may want to drop by and have a conversation with a faculty member, which is something we love when students come by, you will be able to send us an email. We can set up a video conversation or a chat or meet in person. So that this webpage will help you get a lot of some quick answers to questions you might be having throughout the semester and just throughout your time at UNC. So here's our main page where we give an overview of what sociology is in the way that we approach it and teach it at UNC. So then we've got some basic information about how to get in touch with us, some news and announcements, some things that are current in our program. And then if you look at the top here, there's an About Us, a faculty page. And here's our whole faculty, where you can click to send an email, or you can read more about each of our faculty members to see what research we're doing, or what publications we have, or what classes we teach. So these are ways that you can get to know and communicate with our faculty. And then when you look at our programs, so I just came over to the programs page. We've got the sociology major, of course. We've got a master's in sociology as well, and the minor in sociology. So here for majors, you'll learn about the different concentration areas we have, which we'll talk about specifically when we do advising. And the way this works, our program, if we click on the program overview, and then look at some information around all the different options we have in sociology. I just wanted to point you to the structure of the major. So when we're going to be signing up for fall classes, we're going to be looking at setting up the pathway to complete all the major requirements in sociology, but also to complete all the degree requirements to graduate from UNC. So in our program, we have Sociology 100, Principles of Sociology, as the first required class for our major. And then we've got the next step in our major is the Introduction to Sociological Practice. So in that class, we map out, what do you do with a sociology degree? And how do sociologists write and communicate, and what are their professional norms and practices? But around that, you'll take Principles of Sociology, maybe you've already taken it, the Introduction to Sociology, Soc 100. You'll also have access to other intro level and entry level classes in the sociology of gender, if you're interested in learning more about the ways in which we study gender in society. Race, Racism, and Power is another lower level class that's a good introduction to sociology, and also the Introduction to Family Studies. So these are just 3 examples of courses that can help introduce you to the field of sociology, but also help you delve into issues that you might be really curious or passionate about. All of those classes, the introductory class, the gender class, the race class, the family studies class, and there's others, apply to the liberal arts core. So we'll get into that conversation about the liberal arts core in a minute. Just to give you some more background about the social major, after you take Intro to Sociology, whatever electives you're interested in, such as the gender class or the race class, and many others that we'll talk about, you'll take our social practice class probably in your 2nd semester or in your sophomore year. Then we have a 2-course sequence in theory, classical social theory and contemporary social theory. So these classes you take back to back, maybe in your junior year, with the same instructor and the same students, to really get founded in our way of thinking in sociology. And then we have the methods courses that come with lab credits, where students are learning the science of sociology in terms of how do you collect data, how do you analyze survey information, how do you do interviews, how do you build a study to answer a research question. And these are really marketable, important skills in any career that you'll be getting in these classes. And the reason the labs are attached to these is that you'll work in small groups and independently to really master these skills and do some really interesting data collection and analysis on your own. Meanwhile, you'll be taking classes in one of these concentration areas. And actually, we're going to be combining a couple of these. I'm going to go back to another screen to show you a little bit differently. Actually, this screen is a good one. These are our 4 concentration areas. You'll see these in other web pages and other handouts and things. Family, social psychology in the life course, deviance and social control, and inequality in institutions. So while you're at UNC, we're going to be merging the family and social psych and life course areas, and I'll explain that in a minute. But the idea behind these concentration areas is to help students match classes that are connected and related in some critical ways as you go through the major. These aren't binding categories. This is all sociology. Everything's interrelated in our social worlds, but these categories are just meant to help students find similar classes and sort of hone your focus as you move through our program and think about what you're going to next. So when you pick a concentration, it doesn't go on your diploma, for example. Your diploma will say, I got a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology, but you'll know and be able to emphasize if you're applying to grad school or applying for jobs or just building your career path, you'll know what your focus and path was. So the reason we're merging family and social psychology and life course is that we found that our students who are interested in these areas really have interest in the classes we offer overlap across both those categories. So sociology, as we focus on the social forces that impact the individual, we've obviously got a huge connection with psychology that focuses on the individual's personality and choices and behaviors and how that goes out into the world. So this family/social psychology emphasis is a great category of classes for students who are interested in counseling, perhaps, or some sort of social work, or working with families, or something related to education. These classes really give you good background and tools for that kind of applied work that might be serving folks directly. Deviance and social control is related to the criminology area of sociology. And here we're looking at the ways in which society is set up for the rules and the laws and the norms, and then the ways in which we break those rules and laws and norms in productive ways and maybe not so productive ways. How society is structured with our policies, with our culture, and the laws, and how we navigate through instances in society where we have a breaking of the norms or we need the norms to change. So those classes include, like I said, sociology of law, policy, which I teach social policy classes, violence in the family, human trafficking, sex trafficking, global prostitution. So there's an array of options there. So students in that area often have a minor in criminal justice, or maybe they're double majors, or maybe they're interested in working with reforming criminal justice policies. And also there's a big psychology component there too. The last category is the inequality in institutions option. And this category is really the largest American sociology category. We're looking at all the sites in society where inequality is either created or emphasized or promoted. So here we'll have sociology of education classes, sociology of religion classes, race, racism, and power, social class. So here's where the sociological frame is really trying to take on who gets what and why in society, and how can we promote better equity in our systems. So before I leave the webpage, I just want to show you a couple more things on the undergraduate advising page. You'll see links to four-year plans. So whether you're a first semester student or you're transferring in, you can take a look at what we're sort of broadly mapping out for you each semester at UNC. The typical student takes about 15 credits a semester to get to 120 credits to graduate from the university. And this includes about 41 or 44 credits of sociology. It depends, and that's another little detail we'll get into when we're advising you directly. And then about 40 credits of the liberal arts core. So that's the array of classes that really all college students in America have to take that get you familiarized with math, with English, with some arts, with some science, physical sciences. So the idea behind the liberal arts core is that you'll be well-rounded as a graduate from a university, but also you might be exposed or introduced to areas of study that you wouldn't have sought out before, but you're really good at or passionate about. And so the liberal arts core, don't view it as just a checklist that you have to get over with. Really see it as a set of opportunities to think about some other directions or learning pathways that you might be interested in taking that you otherwise wouldn't have thought about. So for first year students, most of your classes are going to be liberal arts core. What's great about sociology is that, as I mentioned before, we've got several courses that apply to the liberal arts core. So if we register you this semester and you take a few classes in sociology, and then you also take a class in American Sign Language or physics, and you decide, oh my gosh, this is actually my real pathway, I think, at UNC is to change my major to this other focus. While we hope that doesn't happen in sociology, what serves you well is that the sociology classes you will have taken will apply to that liberal arts core. So, and beyond that, so it's productive, but beyond that, you've got the 40-ish credits in your major in sociology, 40 or so credits in the liberal arts core, depending on how many credits you take that apply to both your major and the liberal arts core. You have to still, that's about 80 credits. You still have to get to 120 credits to graduate from the university. So that can include another major, another minor, or any classes in any discipline. You can take rock climbing, you can take pottery, you can take astronomy. There's a lot of options, and you're required to get to 120 credits. So here's the 4-year plan, and we can talk about this. The sociology major is very flexible and really works well with a ton of different minors and double majors. So we'll talk about that. I just wanted to point you lastly to our Sociology UNC Facebook page. And this is run by faculty, and we, this is kind of the internal view here because I'm in it as a owner of the page right now. But I just wanted to connect you to this, and I think there's a link to this in my email signature as well. So I just wanted you to see, you know, for example, we had one of our sociology majors just conducted a scholars presentation on Zoom that our students could log in and see. So we use this page to create community, to let you know about events that are going on, to talk about sociology, and just to keep us connected, especially now when so much is happening virtually and not physically together in the same space. So I'm done screen sharing, and I just wanted to wrap up, because this has already been kind of a long conversation, with a few summary points. So 1, welcome to UNC. 2, we're a very enthusiastic and busy and excited department. We're very approachable. So myself and my colleagues, we are here at UNC teaching because we love to interact with students. We love to bring sociology to life for our majors and our minors and anyone who takes our classes. So we're looking forward to meeting you. It's going to be a strange semester and maybe a strange year with the COVID-19 pandemic. So while we're not, like I said, physically going to be on campus as much as we would like, we are very accessible, and we want to connect with you, and we want to connect you with other students. There's a couple other opportunities in our program. We have a social research lab that's run by one of our professors, Dr. Josh Packard, and it's an entity where we have real clients that pay us money to do research projects on anything and everything. We've done projects on potholes mapping around the community, or a Comcast satisfaction survey. We've done program evaluations for charter schools across the country. We've done demographic analysis for major religious organizations. We've done a lot. So the purpose behind the lab, its whole existence, is to help train students with research skills. So we give you hands-on experience, and you can earn wages as well to build your resume, but also just connect you with sociology in the greater community. So the Social Research Lab is another resource. We also have a sociology club of students who do philanthropic events and just some socializing too. That might look a little different this year, but we'll get you connected with that opportunity. They do some volunteering, they do fundraising, and it's just a great way to connect with other majors. And I'll close this video for advising. What you want to be prepared to talk about is, you know, what do you want your major in sociology to look like? No pressure if that answer isn't super long at this point, especially if you're a first-year student. But what other disciplines are you interested in? Do you want to take a math class when you start out college, or do you want to go into a science class, or do you want to hold off on those? Are you interested in foreign languages? There's all sorts of just baseline classes we can get you in and get you started to really tailor your first semester at UNC, whether it's your first semester of college or just transferring to us. Every semester, you're going to meet with a sociology faculty member to have this conversation about what you're signing up for in the next semester, but also how the previous semester go, how does this link to your goals in life? What are you doing over the summer? Do you want to study abroad? Do you have a minor or double major? We're here to check in with you. So every semester, you'll have to wait to get your PIN number to register so that you can have that really important developmental conversation with you, with a faculty member. So that's what you and I are going to have after you see this video. And I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you. And I hope this has been a little bit of a helpful introduction. Welcome to UNC. Thanks.